right, Don, so can you tell us a little bit about how the idea for the North Carolina Auto Racing Hall of Fame came to be?
Sure. Way back in the early 90s, when NASCAR was at its zenith, I met a friend of mine. I met a man who became a really good friend of mine. His name was Bob Ebert. And he was one of the guys that was the driving force to start this industrial park that we're in right now. And we got talking about racing one night in like 1990 or 91 or something like that. And Bob said, "Don, why don't they have a museum for all this racing that goes on around here?" And I said, "Well, they have one down in Darlington." He goes, "Yeah, nobody goes to that thing." He said, "It's way out there in the boonies." He said, why don't they have one around here?" And I said, "I don't know. Why are you asking me, Bob?" He said, "Because I think we should start one." And I said, "Bob, do you know what you're talking about?" He goes, "Well, I know you know a lot of people, and we can put some funds together between the two of us, and we can start one. And I bet you a lot of people would come." "Okay, Bob." And that's what we did. We arranged to buy this building that we're in now, and it was an old tailpipe factory for over-the-road trucks. It was a greasy Hall of Fame. There was more dirt and grease in this building than I thought was possible. It took months to clean it up. And then we put up different walls in here and redid the floors, and Bob said, "We just got to get some cars. That's up to you." "Okay, Bob." I called a couple of the racers, and they said, "Oh yeah, we'll bring one of our cars over there and let you show it off." And we did that. We put them in here, and we built a couple of displays and got some more displays, and within 3 or 4 months, we had a pretty nice little museum here, and we started a little gift shop up in front, and the people kept coming here, and it got busier and busier, and we had several people working at the counter, and it was going full boat, and then Bob, being Bob, calls me up. He said, "Hey, I'm going to talk to you tonight." Okay, so I went over at his office, which was just down the road, and I said, "What's on your mind?" And he said, "You know what? We ought to do something with this. It's making money." And I said, "Well, isn't that a good thing?" He goes, "Yeah, but we shouldn't be putting that in our pockets." "Oh, why not, Bob?" He said, "Because there's better things to do." He said, we should give it some impetus. We should make it a foundation." I thought, oh my God, here we go. And sure enough, he came up with all the paperwork. Was going to turn it into a foundation, be a non-profit, and I said, "Okay." And he said, what you need to do is, he said, "You need to contact the state and get a charter." And so we did that. We got the charter for the North Carolina Auto Racing Hall of Fame, and we opened the doors officially in 1994. And here you go. Since then, we've raised well over $1 million for the abused children in the Carolinas, which is what we're here for, and hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of toys and other things, for the children. And that because of Bob Ebert. That was like his silent partner. And unfortunately, we lost him many years ago, but I still miss him. He was a heck of a guy, and I know that every once in a while he's looking down at me and saying, "Well, why can't you make it bigger?" But Bob, that's all I can say.
whenever you think of the items you've had out there in the almost 30 years you've been here, is there been like one or two that stands out as a lot of people walk out and they're like, hey, can you tell me more info about this? Or, wow, I can't believe you had this car or this fire suit, or is there any cars or anything that come to mind?
Well, I think early on, we had a couple of Bobby Allison cars out here that people used to rave about, you know. But then we got that Can-Am car that's out there. And they went nuts over that Can-Am car for about a year. And now, the thing that raises everybody's eyebrows is that twin-engine, fuel-burning motorcycle. And everybody wants to know, well, did somebody actually sit on it? Did they ride it? No, they raced it. It went nearly on 200 miles an hour in a quarter mile back in the 70s. Oh my God, you know, where did they sit? On that little tiny seat there. They laid on the gas tank. Oh my God, they can't believe it. But it is pretty awe-inspiring when you look at it. And there's another one out there as well. There's the first, officially the first fuel-burning motorcycle that ever drag raced, that ran on nitromethanine. It was nicknamed the Beast. And that motorcycle is out there now just the way it was raced. Nobody has touched it, and they shouldn't. You know, that's Chet Herbert's original motorcycle, and his son has preserved it. Doug has preserved it in the condition it was raced.